And
It's
playing
time.
the role of Bill Anderson is
These guys are here to
Bill Rohrer.
Let's go get to it. Today we're talking about, should we socialize with your boss? There's a way, a right way, and a wrong way
So let me
to
get
do
this
it.
straight. So Bill Anderson's on vacation.
Absolutely.
So Bill
Again.
Rohrer
We got
Yeah.
Bill 2.0 over here, huh?
is leading the segment.
I wore a jacket because I know Bill would wear a jacket.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So what is the deal? Spending time with your boss, good or bad? Is that the idea?
I think it depends on what situation are you in. Like, with your, like, doing business deals with your boss, you're away with your boss. Do you have to, a lot of free time with your boss? Then I think you have to. I think you have to
Yeah.
appease him. But, if you're like working in a place like this, I think it's a relationship that builds over time.
Well, I read the same thing, the same study that you brought up. They say you should make sure it's all about building a relationship with that person outside of work. Don't be constricted to what's happening in the office. Other things, you can bring up other things besides office talk. Make sure happy hour doesn't get out of control. I say that's the number one tip. If you go out and you're starting to drink cocktails,
Right.
you better cut it off after one or two.
I don't know how close you really need to get with your bosses, man, outside of work. I mean, you could have a cordial relationship, but should we be calling each other on a Saturday night? Like, hey, man, what are you doing?
No.
I'm gonna pick up, hey, Jim, man, what are you doing? You wanna go out and grab a drink?
Well,
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's appropriate.
I don't understand why it wouldn't be. I mean, I consider myself a friend with my boss. So,
because there's certain things you don't want to share.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and not that you got things that you really want to hide, but do you really want your boss to know what your Saturday night is like, or what your Friday night is like, or what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to I want to have that close relationship, man.
But if you're that type of person and you have stuff you want to hide, maybe
No,
you
what is
shouldn't
this?
share.
That's one of your
That's
bosses.
me and my boss. That's me and my
See?
boss. I know how to play the game here at Fox 29, right? I know how to play the game at Fox 29.
Is he the chief photographer?
No.
But he might be. He's taking pictures
I
with his boss. He's
might be
working
in a
it.
couple weeks. Who knows?
So you go to the ball game and you have your arms around each other?
Like hugging
That's
each
how I
other?
roll, man. You get great things.
Look at this guy.
Now here's our top boss, Jim Driscoll. And apparently he and Bill Rohrer have this
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
They're Netflixing and chilling. Apparently
I know,
on the weekend.
I know exactly what's on his playlist, on his his phone. I know everything. That's how you get up in the company. That's how you move up. Why?
I might have to take notes then, I
Me
guess.
too.
I don't know, man.
Do I have Dennis Bianchi's phone number? He's the general manager of the station.
I do have his number.
Yeah?
I can call Dennis.
What are you gonna tell him?
I invite him to a baseball game. Obviously, he's do the same thing you do.
I actually went to a baseball game with my boss.
I know what I'm going to tell the boss. Bill Rohrer's a suck-up.
But here's the thing. There is a rule to the whole thing.
What is the rule?
You cannot be a bad employee. You have to be a really good employee. You can't go in there and put your boss in a bad situation where he has to come down on you.
Well, if he's really your friend, then he holds you down in every situation, right? Whether
Right.
you're a bad employee or a good employee.
Let's
And you
see.
should question your friendship with your boss. He's putting extra pressure on you, man.
So we got two
Maybe you
bosses.
want to be a bad employee.
Well, no, you can't be bad. That's not fair. You have to know your
know,
role.
I know. I agree
You
with
have to separate. Where it's time for him to be a boss, and where you have to be an employee. You can't. You have
sure.
to separate it. You have to
But
know
I
when
think
that
that's
separation
where the problem
is.
occurs, right?
Yeah.
Because what happens when it's time for him to be a boss and he's your friend?
Well, you have to
That's
know
where
that
you
he's
create
being a boss.
Right, but you've created a situation now for him
I'll
or
tell
for
you
her,
this.
right?
We have two bosses. Dennis Bianchi's general manager, Jim Driscoll is the news director. I consider both of them my friend, and they both suspended me.
See what I'm saying?
See?
See what I'm saying?
And
See what I'm saying?
And Eric has suspended me. So
There you
right.
And he suspended me. Well, no, I've been suspended too.
What
It was
have we
Brad
learned?
now, I think, at the time. I don't
Bosses
remember.
will suspend your friends.
Yeah, and we've learned that Eric Smith is a kind of out-of-control jerk.
But a good friend, I guess.
What a great friend.
But a
He's
great
a good
friend.
friend, but he's out of
And
control.
he's really good at what he does. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill?
No problem.